Hey everybody, it's Dylan here. Just here to give you a really quick introduction to the video you're about to watch, which is our FBLA team, Future Business Leaders of America team. They came over from the high school this afternoon to chat with us. We had a really good time. They're very articulate students. They're heading to, fresh off of a win in Rochester at a state competition, they're heading to a national leadership conference soon. That's going to be in Chicago. And so we hear a lot about what they're doing to prepare for that, how their competition in New York went. And we also get to learn a little bit more about them personally through a rapid fire question round. So some really hard hitting questions there. So without any further ado, this is the Vestal High School, a portion of the Vestal High School FBLA team. Thanks, everybody.
I'm Aarav Shah. I'm a senior at Vestal High School. I'm also the president this year of FBLA.
I'm Harshjeet Singh. I'm also a senior at Vestal High School, and I am one of the co-vice presidents of FBLA.
I'm Ameet Ashok. I'm a junior at Vestal High School, and I'm the other co-vice president of FBLA.
So we're here to talk to you about a little bit about our experiences in FBLA and how our state competition went this past week.
Yeah, so I guess we can start out with the prep, leading up to states. It was pretty stressful, I'd say. We were all, super into preparing, making sure we had our presentations or our knowledge down of all the topics. So on my end, I was doing a speaking event, so I was constantly just, talking in the mirror, making sure, all my skills were good in that.
As far as me, I had an event that required me to do both a speaking presentation and an objective test. I thought it was a really great experience having to, prepare for both aspects of that. Overall, it was very rewarding, and I definitely enjoyed it a lot. Definitely not the same as studying for a test at school or anything like that.
Yeah, I feel like I was the most underprepared. I didn't really study for my tests. I went in there with a blank page. It was fun. I mean, I studied probably 6 or 7 terms while we were on the bus, but it was a lot of fun. I had 2 written portion exams, and then I had 1 written portion, and then if I got finalist in that, then I would do a speaking portion for that. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. But overall, it was a fun experience. We got to meet a lot of new people. And it was a lot of fun.
Just to put it out there, we did have some very impressive awards. I believe we had one person obtain first place in the job interview category. We had several second place winners, Arv and myself included, among others. We had some third, fourth place winners, and all of us qualified to attend the National Leadership Conference. So that's 7 people from a small school like Vestal, which is pretty remarkable. I think we get one more every year, but yeah, so we will have 7 people going on to nationals, which is in Chicago, end of June, beginning of July.
Yeah, and that's crazy compared to just a few years ago when we had 1 person go, Alex Leclerc. Now we have 7. It's crazy how much the program has grown and how much more, we as kids, the students just care about the program. And I think that goes to show how much it sort of means to us and what benefit we get out of it.
Yeah. Why don't you guys start with one of the topic cards? Kind of in the same line.
So topic card number 1. What is one piece of advice you would give to someone considering joining FBLA?
Do it and explore everything that there is that FBLA offers. Mm-hmm. There's just so many different types of tests, from calculations to graphic design to speaking. Definitely put your foot out there, go explore, dive head first, and give it all you got.
I'd say don't join FBLA just to join a club. We get kids all the time joining these clubs just to add to their resumes. I was in this, I was in that. FBLA is not that kind of program. It's really going to help you come out of your shell as a social person, as an extrovert, as a leader, and that kind of sort of thing. So it's not just to, add to your college resume or add to your application. It's really kind of an endeavor that's going to last with you for the rest of your life. So I'd say as an FBLA member, take advantage of all those competitions, all those leadership conferences, all those district meetings, network with people, get to know people, make memories, compete, win, excel, represent your school, represent Vestal. Yeah, it's definitely a great experience overall.
Yeah, I agree with both of them. I feel like high school is a very scary place for a lot of freshmen, a lot of underclassmen. So I feel like once you join clubs like FBLA, like Interact Club, or any of the clubs we have, it's just something that you got to explore, something you got to explore for yourself or other people. You make new friends, you make lifelong friends, where I have these 3 right here, and Mez. And yeah, I mean, overall, high school is like an area to explore. What you want to do in your future, what do you want to do as a career. So yeah, just explore, in my opinion.
And you don't have to be the most business-oriented person out there.
That is big facts.
You know, we have people in this room right now who are going to the medical career but still excel in FBLA and find a lot of meaning and passion in that. You know, it's the L in FBLA stands for leader, so you could be a leader in any facet possible and still, you know, make your mark with FBLA. You don't have to be going to finance or consulting or accounting. You can have any passion of yours but still, you know, excel in FBLA and achieve at the highest level in that category.
So we all know what FBLA stands for, and you just gave the L away. What does the F, B, and the A stand for those that aren't familiar with FBLA?
Right. So the F stands for future, the B stands for business, as you mentioned, the L for leaders, and the A is for America.
I'll go for another topic
For
question.
the second one.
Second topic question. What are you looking forward to at the National Leadership Conference in Chicago, and how are you preparing for it?
All right, I'll start out with this one. So going into states, I guess, first of all, I didn't really know what to expect in terms of how many people there would be, what the competition would look like. And now that I've experienced that, it was crazy. I mean, I think there were like 70 something schools there. There were a good amount, crazy competition. And so I did some research going into nationals. Last time it was held in person, there were over 9,000 people going. So just that number is crazy to me. I don't think I can really comprehend, like, in one room, like 9,000 people. That's just incredible. So going there, you know, meeting these countless people and sharing experience with them, I think that's definitely the thing I'm looking most forward to.
And this is all of our first times going to an in-person nationals. You know, last year we went virtually, but that's something that I'm really looking forward to. You know, the physical aspect of being able to talk to people face to face, network, communicate through that medium. It's definitely a different experience. But I'm overall looking forward to, you know, how long is it? 4 days?
5.
5 days.
Yeah,
Those 5 days. Our advisor always tells us it's like a glorified vacation.
Yeah.
And that's kind of that's like my motivation to get through the year is to go to nationals and to compete in Chicago.
Yeah. I
Definitely.
feel like this year, especially when we went to the state leadership conference, we didn't expect what we actually saw. We expected something like maybe smaller, not that many kids, like all people are just focused on what they're doing. But like when we went there were so many kids, all of them like very easy to talk to, like, because they all have the same goal in mind. They all want to better themselves and they all want to like learn about one another. So like school to school, even though we were one of the smallest schools there, I feel like we had a pretty big impact at states. Like we met a lot of new people. And I feel like at nationals, it's going to be on a bigger scale. We're going to meet new people, network with different states, especially. And just as an overall experience, just have fun.
Yeah. And I was looking at the last time they had nationals, they had the, not the award ceremony, but the opening ceremony. And so they were introducing people from each state. There's also people from other countries going to this.
Right. There are people from,
Ooh,
you know,
okay.
China, some countries in Africa, Canada.
Mm-hmm.
So it is FBLA as Future Business Leaders of America, but it is kind of in a way on an international scale.
Yeah.
You know, the type of people you meet, it's definitely an experience that most people from Vestal will not get until college. You know, being able to meet people from different states, all 50 states, kind of gives you a new perspective. Like you see the world in a different way because you know more people, you know more stories, more backgrounds, what life is like in different parts of the world. And that kind of enhances your understanding of how business works internationally, which is something that I'm very privileged to experience.
Absolutely, yeah. And another thing that I'm looking forward to kind of bounces off your idea of something that other students may not experience is the workshops that the National Leadership Conference is going to have. And those are taught by industry professionals. So in any section of business, for example, real estate, finance, accounting, anything, there's always the leaders of those industries there and they're teaching us, right? So that's pretty big contrast from sitting in a class and say learning about calculus for 40 minutes a day. You know, you're actually up there, you're right there learning the skills that are eventually going to help you in your career. So I think that'll be really beneficial to experience.
Yeah, and also on the competitive portion, like all the tests are very, you can say difficult in this way, but we're all looking forward for the testing portion. It's just a very competitive environment. Like you get to meet people and you ask them what test they're doing, and once you find out that they're doing the same test, then it's just a mental game with one another. Like, oh, I'm gonna do better than you. Oh, I'm gonna do better than you. So it's just like we're all focused on one thing, and it just makes us like unite in a way that honestly I haven't had in any other club. Yeah, so it's like a sport in a way. You get to it's basically competitive like a sport.
It's competitive yet collaborative. You know,
Yeah.
you're not there to bring other people down or
Yeah.
beat them or achieve at a higher level than them. And as at the national level, we are representing New York State.
Mhm.
So at states, we were just representing Vestal, but now we are representing the entirety of New York State. So many of the connections we made, the friendships we've garnered in the last 2 weeks, they are like our team now, and we get to work with them and compete alongside them to represent our entire state, which is a really cool experience. I don't think we've ever. Most people don't get to represent their state at a national level as high schoolers, which is really rewarding.
So, Aarav, I got a fun question for you.
Okay.
Do you want to explain a certain thing that you're wearing right now?
The quarter
Yeah.
zips.
Why we all have the same one?
Yeah,
Because they
Sure.
copied
So-
me. This was my plan. They copied me.
Oh yeah, okay. So yeah, the quarter zips. We got these just for states. We are pretty excited to go, and we were all thinking, what's something we can do or to bring us together, and we are like, yeah, let's make some T-shirts. We thought quarter zips were a bit more professional. We are the business club, so we talked with was it Zappia's, right?
Yes, Zappia's.
And we designed the logo, and yeah, we just got these quarter zips, and it was pretty fun. We all have the same one, so it unites us in a way. I will say when we went to states and we walked in with these on, some of the people from the other schools were a bit intimidated by us. Just looking at everyone that said Vestal, it was pretty funny, but definitely a cool piece to have, good memento to carry forward, especially for me. I'm going to college next year, so it'll definitely remind me of the memories that I've made in FBLA.
Right. I think we can segue into a third
topic question.
So what was your favorite experience from the New York State competition this year? I'll just start off with this just because I feel like this is a very hard question to answer because all 3 days were extraordinary. I'd say my favorite experience is probably the social events. So there was what was the first day? The
Talent
show, and the second day was the part of the dance.
The dance, the glow in the dark dance. Yeah.
I think what I liked about those is that it kind of united us as an entire state to the fullest extent. We were just earlier that day competing against each other, but then on the same dance floor, going crazy, watching each other perform, cheering each other on. It definitely brought out a sense of camaraderie in all of us, and that's something that was definitely the highlight of the trip. It was very fun, very rewarding, but it also just shows that we can compete against each other, but also work together, be a team, and have fun. And FBLA is definitely a fun club. It's not all serious. We do get things done. We do lead others. We do have a lot of workshops and seminars and events that promote that kind of thing. But at the same time, at the end of the day, we are enjoying ourselves and having a great experience. And that's kind of what happened through those.
Right. So not only did it sort of show us that idea of collaboration and the importance of it, but also the balance between work and pleasure, I guess, because we were all super competitive, into our tests, just, hoping we'd win and place and make it to that national level. And then the day once everyone finished competing, we got to go to that dance and, have fun with everyone, sort of break down that barrier that we may have placed on our competitors and really just enjoy ourselves and have a good time with the rest of the state that we're going to then compete with at nationals.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I would say personally, my favorite part was definitely the goose chase, which was like a how would you say, like a scavenger hunt.
Online
So
scavenger hunt.
they had different categories, and you had to take pictures for each category. So one of them was take a picture with another school, right, or take a picture with someone wearing red shoes. So I remember us after I was done with all my tests, us and another school. We completely joined together, just get those categories done. And we were running around the convention center, trying to find someone with red shoes, trying to find 5 business cards. It was just a very fun overall. We all had the same mindset. And we just had little things that broke us down day by day, which made us in a way little children instead of being that serious. Oh, I'm going to go into this test. Stuff like that. So yeah,
Definitely
Goose
showed
Chase
us-
was very fun.
Definitely showed us the value of teamwork in a very implicit way, working together with people we don't know, or we know them now, but before we didn't know them that well, but still being able to work together and achieve a common goal. That's kind of the center of business, It's all about finding solutions to problems using business, and that's kind of what we learned through that scavenger hunt, through the, Goose
Goose
Chase?
Chase.
Goose
Yeah.
chase,
Goose
yeah.
chase.
And really
But yeah.
just learning how to talk to people in
Yeah.
general.
Right.
So yeah, I guess we can go to
Our
next
fourth
question.
question. Where are you going to, or where are you going, or where would you like to go to college? Did being part of FBLA influence that decision? And finally, do you think you are more prepared for college because of FBLA?
Sure. So I guess I'll start off. I'm going to be going to Binghamton University this fall. I'm going to be majoring in integrative neuroscience, so definitely not something business. Although I have considered doing a dual major, I'm definitely going to be on the pre-med track. So in terms of how FBLA has influenced my decision, I wouldn't say that it per se has greatly done that, but it has made me much more prepared for college in terms of gaining those leadership skills, and really networking was the main thing. I mean, I've met students at the State Leadership Conference that are also going into pre-health fields, so pre-PA, pre-nursing, things like that. So it's given me another community that I can reach out to. And then in terms of the leadership skills, in our own club, just during our normal meetings, talking, things like that, building relationships with the students at Vestal. So in those ways, it's definitely made me more prepared for college. And then I guess the final thing would be in terms of the tests, just learning proper study skills, and that's about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Like Aarav, I'm also attending Binghamton University, but unlike him, I'm going to the SOM program, so the School of Management. And I want to major in right now I want to major in business administration, but looking at the future, I might go into finance or accounting. But once that path comes, I'll choose my journey. But I feel like FBLA really, it influenced my decision, but ever since I was young, I always wanted to go into business. But FBLA was just it solidified my choice as in what type of business I want to go into. So yeah, just like Aarav said, yeah, talking to people, learning how to communicate with one another, and yeah, just proper study skills for some of these tests.
Right. So unlike Aarav and Hershey, I'm still a junior, so I haven't gone through the college application process. That said, FBLA has definitely confirmed my interest in business. Like Hershey, I always knew I was going to go into business from a young age. I just like the sort of creativity and innovation that you need to succeed in business, the analytical skills, the combination of social skills with mathematical skills. That's definitely right up my alley. So I know I'm definitely going to go into business. But as far as the skills I've taken away from FBLA, definitely any skill imaginable I've gotten from FBLA. Leadership, communication, teamwork, industry knowledge, solving problems. Like in all my events, I have to read these case studies and come up with solutions on the spot, and that's definitely something that I find really engaging and really, really interesting. And so that's definitely confirmed that I want to go into business. As far as schools, I do have a list of schools that I'm interested in. Right now, my top choice I'd say is probably the University of Michigan. They have a very strong business program. As a matter of fact, a lot of the seniors I met at the state conference are going to University of Michigan to the Ross School of Business. So it's always great to have those connections coming in as a freshman. But I'd say overall, FBLA has definitely solidified my interest in business, and that's something that I would not have taken up, that I would not have gotten anywhere else.
Fifth question?
Yeah.
Fifth question. Oh, short question. Why and how did you become involved in FBLA?
So I actually didn't know what FBLA was. I just was looking for another club to join freshman year. I was already part of the science team and the math team, so I was like, what's one more? So a friend told me about FBLA, and I joined it. I was sort of in and out my freshman year. I got a sense of it, but wasn't really, I guess, I didn't feel that this was like 100% my thing. And then as I kept with it, going into sophomore year, I started doing competitions and really taking part in the meetings. And once I started putting more into FBLA, then I realized that it was definitely a great value to me, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, so I moved here freshman year of high school, so I didn't know that many people. So freshman year, I didn't really do many clubs because I didn't really put myself out there. But sophomore year, I remember Alex Leclerc. He just walked up to me one day, and he's like, "Do you want to join FBLA?" And I'm like, "I honestly just don't know what it is." And he's like, "You'll like it." And he basically just dragged me into a meeting. And then, through that meeting, I learned I wanted to join this club. This was something I was very passionate about. And so I feel like Alex was a big part of me joining FBLA. And he's just a very motivational person. Whenever you talk to him, he always has those type of questions. Like if you ask him for something, he won't just say yes. He'll ask you why you want it and why he should be supporting you. So he's just like one of those motivational people and like very inspirational. So yeah, Alex is the main reason I joined FBLA.
So actually, my story with FBLA is a little bit, I should say, unique, I guess. So my 8th grade geometry teacher, who was actually the advisor of FBLA, she knew that I wanted to go into business, and so just as an 8th grader, she kind of put that on my radar. She was like, FBLA is this club that promotes business and leadership. You should definitely join. So I kind of knew that I would be in FBLA since the end of middle school. And that same year was the year that we had our first student ever compete at nationals, which was Alex Leclerc. And he did get 8th place in impromptu speaking. And at that moment, I could envision myself, on that stage at nationals getting an award. And I knew that FBLA was a club for me. Fast forward 2 years from then, and I was not on that stage, but I was behind my computer screen getting 3rd place at the national conference online. But it was still very fun and rewarding. So when freshman year first started, I came to FBLA, and it was, I was kind of ambivalent at first. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know anybody who was in the club. And it was definitely a lot smaller than it is now, but a lot of the people I met there are kind of friends that I've had, throughout high school. Some of my closest friends, I met Aarav and Harshjeet through FBLA. A lot of the upperclassmen there kind of directed me towards, what I might find interesting in business, and I stuck through FBLA since then, and I've just, risen the ranks of officer positions, and it's definitely been the #1 club that I'm a part of throughout high school. So yeah, that's kind of my experience with FBLA.
So, 7 of you placed in your individual competitions. At what point did it become logistically difficult to carry all those medals home from Rochester? I feel like we really didn't. It was like once everybody got called up on stage individually for their events, we were all just in our head, you got to get 4th place. We got to go to NLC. And every single time, like they started from the bottom, 5th place to 4th place, and like one of our names wasn't called up when we were on stage. We were all in our heads, he's got 1st place. He's definitely got 1st place. And slowly but surely, we each got like our events or our medals. And every single time somebody got called up, we went crazy. Even though we were the smallest school there, we went absolutely crazy.
We weren't the smallest, but
we weren't one of the.
On
we
the
were
smaller
like
end,
on the smaller end of the
for sure.
schools. Yeah, but
Everyone knew our names.
everybody knew our names at one point of the competition,
Right.
and yeah, it was very, very, very different. I would feel like, and yeah, I mean the awards were very cool and all, but I feel like it's just like the whole experience of getting the awards and cheering the person that got the award was the best part for me.
At one point we had to consider making a spreadsheet of everyone's awards because it was just so crazy to keep track of who won what.
Mm-hmm.
But like Hershey said, it's a lot more than the awards. I mean, it is nice to see our hard work pay off by all these awards, but the job isn't finished. We still got to go to nationals. We still got to, get those same awards at nationals, and then we can celebrate then. But yeah, it definitely was very nice to see that our hard work paid off and that we did place and represent our district well at states. So yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, some of our members even qualified for nationals in multiple events. So
Mhm.
even
Right.
that was a
That was
difficult
very-
decision on them, which event should they pick and carry forward to nationals. So that's another thing that we had to take into consideration. But like both of these guys said, I mean, we still have nationals to come. We're still preparing hard at work, and we're definitely going to represent not only this district, but New York State as well, and hopefully make a good impact.
Absolutely.
Final question of the day. Talk about your teacher / coach, Mrs. Mezzadonna.
So I kind of already brought her up with my story with FBLA, but we all have so much to say about Mrs. Mezzadonna. We call her Mez. She's been so inspiring to all of us. She's been very helpful. For Mez, she's a business teacher. She's the one and only business teacher at Vestal, and she jokes that FBLA takes up more of her time than actually teaching business, and she is very happy about that. It seems like a hindrance, but she's very happy. She's very proud. She puts in the same energy that we put in. She puts in that energy. She matches, our enthusiasm, and we're just so thankful to have an advisor like Mrs. Mezzadonna who can meet our goals, can allow us to compete, provide us with all these opportunities and more. And we could not ask more of Mrs. Mezzadonna. So we are very thankful for Mrs. Mezzadonna.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, in terms of all the paperwork and the logistics behind us going to competition, making sure we're properly registered, all dietary restrictions, things like that, even things that we don't personally deal with. I mean, it's all mess. So her just being able to take care of that and making sure everything's all set, keeping up with everyone. It's really great.
Yeah. Overall, just her energy. I feel like when we were at the state leadership conference and each of our events got called up, she just in her mind, she's like, you got number one. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you don't get placed, you got the next event. So I feel like her energy, just overall, she's just very fun to be around. She's always there when you need her. You just walk into her room. She's there.
If you send her an email, you'll get a response before you even click send.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That is true. She responds pretty well. Which is sometimes a little like weird because you don't really get teachers that respond that quick.
Yeah.
So but I feel like her energy and just her like enthusiasm for the club and enthusiasm for just us in general is very admirable. Yeah.
Without Mez, we wouldn't be where we are. We wouldn't be sitting here.
That's true. Yeah.
We'd just be another Vestal High School club, but of course we aren't because of Miss Mizadana. So yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, when I started out my sophomore year, we had like 10 members in the club.
10
and
members.
now this year, at our peak, we had like 45
members,
people coming to meetings. So, I mean, just being able to keep up with that crazy change, it's definitely something we're thankful for.
Very thankful.
Yeah.
Wow, I did not know that it was that big. 44 people?
44.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So do you have anything that we haven't covered that you want to share before we get on to our rapid fire round?
Yeah, just a little bit about the 44 people, I guess. One thing about our club FBLA is that not everyone has to compete if you're not comfortable with it. If you don't want to, say you don't want to go into business and you really don't think competing is going to do anything for you, you can always come to our meetings and participate in our chapter. Just what we share, our presentations, we focus on things like public speaking, leadership. We talked about finances and retirement accounts, stocks, investments. So we cover a whole range of things in our chapter meetings. So it's definitely another reason to join FBLA.
Yeah, I feel like we've talked a lot of the competitive portion of the FBLA, but overall, it's just you can come in anytime you want. Just come and join the meeting. Just learn like what you want to do. Like just learn basic speaking skills, like just impromptu speaking. Even if you don't want to do that, just be there just to listen to people. It's just like one of those things that might inspire you to do something that you never want to do, or it might take you out of your comfort zone. So it's just not about the competitive portion. It's more of like another class you're taking. It's just you come for 45 minutes, learn the topic that we're doing that week, and you're on with your day. But it's very beneficial if you do join some of the regular meetings.
And we do it in a fun way too, right?
Yeah,
so it's not always just like
very
sitting
strict.
and listening to a PowerPoint. We do some interactive games. One of them is bed baby
Bed
backpack.
Bunk
bed baby
bunk
backpack.
baby.
We haven't done that in a while, but
Yeah.
we might have to run it up.
Yeah,
very-
some iteration of those. It's
Very fun game.
a fun game. It just works on communication and
Mhm.
things like that. So
Teamwork, big
Yeah.
teamwork.
for sure.
We have new members every week, but as soon as we get someone come for the first meeting, they come to every other meeting because they want to come back for more. It's whatever you make out of it. You can come to FBLA just as a hobby, just for fun, or you can compete at the highest level like we do. But that's something that I really like about FBLA is it's diverse in what you can do with it, and yeah, our members really appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Nice. All right, guys. Well, I don't know if there's an appropriate amount of time to put on a timer. I have 10 rapid fire questions.
Okay.
You three just answer in unison.
Gotcha.
And if there's anything you want to add in, feel free to do it. I don't know. Maybe there will or will not be a timer. Okay. Netflix or YouTube?
Ooh, Netflix.
Okay. Phone call or text?
Phone
Text.
call.
Text.
Okay. Interesting. Apple or Android?
Apple.
Not even a question.
Apple.
The Office or Parks and Rec?
I don't watch either. so
I'm gonna say Office because I've never heard of the second.
never watched either.
What? Are you kidding? Good show, Parks and Rec. Good show. Hamburger or taco?
Taco.
Okay. Cinco de Mayo. Shout out.
Yes, sir.
Online shopping or shopping in a store?
Online.
Online shopping.
It hurts
Money
less.
or free time?
Wait, what was that?
Ooh.
Money or free time?
I mean, we're the business club here,
Business
so
club, so
That's why I chose
money.
this question.
We gotta
We gotta go with money. We
You
gotta
gotta go with money.
balance.
Okay.
I mean, time is money.
Balance.
Time is money.
Amusement park or day at the beach?
Day at the beach.
Day at the beach.
Day at the beach.
Day
Okay.
at the beach.
At a movie, candy or popcorn?
Popcorn.
Popcorn.
Okay.
It's a staple.
And last but not least, Spotify or Apple Music?
Spotify.
Apple Music.
Spotify.
I'm an Apple Music
Spotify.
guy. I'm
I'm
an
Apple
Apple
Music
Music guy.
myself.
I get roasted all the
Spotify,
time for using Apple Music.
Because it's
As you
objectively better.
I don't know. I just use Apple Music. It's just easier. I don't know.
It's just a lot
Spotify is a little
better.
weird. I don't know. It's basically the same thing. If you
That's
learn
whack.
both of them, you learn both of them.
Apple
Yeah,
Music's working.
I don't
Or
know.
just use Spotify and normal.
Spotify's too social for me, right? All right, guys. Well, this has been fun. And
Thanks.
if you've got any kind of things you want to wrap up with, it's up to you. If not, we're going to get y'all doing the Golden Bear fist bump. And you've got your coveted Golden Bear pens
Of
right
course.
there.
Of course.
Take those back. You can show them off to your classmates.
Oh, yes.
And thanks for coming on the show. Thanks for telling us about FBLA. And this was a really interesting conversation. You guys are going to do good at nationals, I think.
Thank you.
Thank you
Y'all
so
are
much.
going to
Thanks
do
for
well at
having us.
Thanks for
nationals.
having
Thanks
us.
for having us.
Thank you for having
This is
us.
definitely
Always a
out of the
great
blue. We did not expect this. So
Yeah.
thanks for having us.
Thank you so
Perfect.
So I think we're good on.
else?
Yeah. See the.
I don't think so. We gotta
You just
do
gotta do it.
The one and only.
All right.
Should we do it in the middle?
Yeah.
Over there. So this is Vestal FBLA and stay golden.
Stay golden.
Stay golden.
Stay golden.